Your boy Nick Saban is wild for this one. He does not believe the Big Ten is a better conference than the SEC, despite the evidence. My goodness, let me tell you how Nick Saban has put on his cape and tried to save her with this nonsense after the bumper. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, consider joining the more than 215,000 subscribers to Adapt and Respond, a college football podcast. You can also catch us on Apple and Spotify with video if you so choose. Look, man, I didn't think that we were going to get too much more nonsense out of SEC media days because Lane Kiffin was done talking. Thought we were through with being dumb. I mean, we got Legend kicked out, and I don't know what was going on there, but anytime Paul Feinbaum got a caller that seems to be more famous than he is, we go talking about it. But then we get the greatest college football coach in history, who I think has gone TV brain. I do. I think this is one of them where Nick Saban was feeling the desk. He's feeling the desk. And I don't know that it has got to him yet that the further you get away from being a head coach in that league, the less we can take you seriously about your belief in that league. Okay? Okay, now I'm not asking you to go out here and just dog walk the SEC. Nobody's doing that, right? Nobody would expect him to do that. We would expect him to cape for his mans, right? His mans being most of the dudes in the SEC, right? They've all, for the most part, mostly worked for him. However, I do find it quite hilarious that Nick Saban, of all people, is fighting the, quote, narrative that the SEC is beneath the Big Ten. So let me tell you exactly what he said, and you can tell me if Nicky Saban is wilding. Because Nicky Saban feel like he wilding right now. Not Nick Saban, Nicky Saban feel like he wilding right now. Quote goes like this. I think the only reason people are talking about this is the SEC dominated for so long, and we were so good. Everybody makes a big deal out of being able to beat us. That doesn't mean they're better than us. And that doesn't mean that just because you win the championship, now it's just championships, not national championship, that you have a better conference. It just means you have one better team. We had 5 teams in the playoff last year. I think we'll have that many teams in the playoff again, and they'll have to play each other. How many of them games are y'all winning? Better question. Nick, could you tell me which SEC team made the 2023 national championship game? 1-1. Oh, okay. Could you tell me which SEC team played in the 2024 national championship game? What? Huh? I can't hear. None. Oh. Could you tell me which SEC team played in the 2025 national championship game? So if I'm to believe the facts in front of me, that makes 3 consecutive years for which an SEC team, whether you got 5 in a field of 12 or not, did not make the national championship game. Okay, so did Ohio State three-peat in the Big Ten? I mean, excuse me, in the last 3 national championships, are they the only one to win one out of the Big Ten? No. Indiana. Wait. Hold up. Time out. Nick. Indy friggin' Anna won a national championship, and the SEC can't even make the game. If that is not a representation of the Big Ten rising up to put the SEC in a figure four, slip them out, power bomb them, and then climb onto the top turnbuckle to drop the people's elbow. I don't know what is. Dog. I get that everybody that comes out of the SEC ends up wanting to cape for the SEC. I get that part, right? And I understand that the SEC plays on the network for which Nick Saban's collected a paycheck. I get all of that, right? I also don't get just how do you don't believe that? You don't believe that. Now, I could go further. And you know what? Forget it. Rather than saying I could, but I won't, I will. Alabama got beat like they stole something in the college football. 38-3, dog. 38-3. Ty Simpson saw what they were doing and they couldn't do nothing about it. Bryant Haynes absolutely sunning Alabama. Oh, can I what's the record for Big Ten teams versus the SEC since, the last 4 times they met? Because I give you this. The last SEC team to beat a Big Ten team in the postseason, right? Last 4 times they met, Alabama. 2021 or 2019, excuse me. Not bad, right? And then we got Texas's win over Michigan in the Citrus Bowl this year. Yeah, so excuse me. Yeah, we got Texas win over Michigan in the Citrus Bowl this year. That's what we got. But they 1-3 postseason play. SEC is 1-3 against Big Ten teams postseason play last year. Wild. All right, so now let me acknowledge the part where he's talking about where we were so good for so long. For 2006, 2022 ain't nobody touching the SEC. 17 years of just utter dominance. 6 of those championships belong to Nick Saban at Alabama. Okay, 6 of 17. Georgia came on late, 2021, 2022. But the Big Ten has won 10 out of the last 17 games it's played against power conferences over the past 2 seasons, and 6-4 in 2024. Ohio State in the college football playoff beat 2 SEC teams on the way to winning the national championship. I think that counts for something. Or more to the point, I think that for Nick Saban to pick this fight was unlike him because it's a loser. And I've never thought of Nick Saban as a loser. Except that quote was a losing one. You tell me.